You are watching Facts Me TV. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.
Hey, on this episode of Facts Me TV, I am correcting more lies from Candace Owens, specifically from her latest episode. I reveal a new and disturbing TikTok trend that is just going to blow your mind. I give you an update on my grandson. I revisit the 30-06 debate, and I offer some advice on how to spot misinformation. And lastly, there is a rogue dirt bike gang on the prowl in my hometown. What? All of that and more today on Facts Me TV. What is up, my friends, my factivists? Here we are once again for the Thursday edition of Facts Me TV with me, Stephen Lancaster. Got a lot we're going to jam in today. I don't even know why I start shows now by saying that, because you guys, you already know, right? But today is an eclectic mix. That's right. It's an eclectic mix. We're talking about Candace Owens, because once again, she had an episode last night. And an episode. See what I did there? Oh. The glory of hitting the dad joke stage is just magnificent to me. Totally magnificent. At least now I got an excuse for my lame jokes. The irony is I was always lame with my jokes. But now it's like socially accepted. They're like, oh, it's okay. He's old, you know. So I love it. I love it that I can use that now. Hey, I'm old. I'm confused, right? Anyway, we're going to revisit briefly the 30-06 argument, because clearly it's not going away and these grifters keep just bringing it back up. We're going to be covering the top 10 lies that I found from posts of Candace Owens, which is interesting, you know, because you can literally read back what you are posting. But when you don't care that you're lying, and you know you're lying, and you literally typed it to be a lie, I guess it really doesn't matter. But we're going to go over that later. We're also going to give you an update on this Austin Metcalf thing. Guys, I'm so disgusted at what I found this morning. You know, it's been such a blessing to be off of X and off of TikTok. Now, I still have a TikTok account. It's still there. I never closed it. But it's an afterthought. Like, occasionally I'll go there and I'll upload one of my reels. But that's only if I'm like, oh, yeah, I can put this on TikTok. But there's a new TikTok trend that just has me sick to my stomach, because that's about all this generation does to me now, is make me sick on my stomach. But we got other things we're going to touch base on too. And one of the things I wanted to start out with today was to give you guys the update on my grandson Tanner. I would say at this point most of you are aware of the situation. The quick elevator pitch for those who aren't aware: 6 months into his life, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it's been a decade of fighting this cancer. Multiple surgeries, multiple comas, seizures, wheelchair bound, disabled. So much has happened to this young man in 10 years. He's like the greatest warrior I know. I mean, literally, I use my grandson to keep myself in check. I really do. Like when I start getting upset about something, I literally sit back and say to myself, I'm not going through what my grandson's going through. Should I even be complaining? Should I even be upset about this? So my grandson is my hero in many ways. In many ways. He was also one of the key factors that helped me get sober. 20 years of alcoholism was hard to beat, guys. And my wife was, of course, the main reason. She saved my life, and I will forever, ever be indebted to that. But, thinking about my grandson as well weighed heavily on that. Like, I got to be sober, man. What if I'm watching him and something happens? You know what I'm saying? Like, you really start to question your own mortality in a way. But he, as you guys know, to bring you quickly up to speed, he used to go to Chapel Hill, UNC, for this entire 10 years. And about a month ago, they completely gave up on him. And they said, look, there's nothing more that we can do. And just let him see out the remainder of his days. And we said no. We said, no way. No way. You aren't God. You can't make those decisions. And my wife put the pedal to the metal. And we got my grandson into Duke. He's now got a whole panel of the brightest minds making decisions for him. Well, he just had the surgery we were talking about yesterday. While I was doing the show, he was in surgery. So believe me when I tell you, that was here like the entire time. Like, I kept looking at my phone. I kept looking at my laptop screen, just waiting for that message to say he's okay. But that didn't come until well after the show. But he is okay. The surgery went spectacular. In fact, they found out that once they opened him back up and went back in there, that the shunt system that UNC had put in was outdated and had failed a long time ago. Now, you tell me how UNC didn't know that. But they're going to tell us, give up on him. Just let him go. Well, Duke discovered that. They've redone his entire system. They've got exterior access now to drain the tumors. However frequently that needs to be done. This is amazing. He did not lose any more abilities. We were so scared because the last brain surgery is what put him in a wheelchair. We were so scared that this surgery he was going to come out of and just be gone. But nope, exactly the same, Factivus. Exactly the same. Get those chills again. Woo! I'm telling y'all, I am telling you all, God is good. There is, I have never met a single person who follows the Lord that has not told me their life improved by embracing God. I just don't get it. I just don't get the naysayers. To each their own. But here firmly at Facts Me, I worship Jesus Christ. Period. But there's your update on my grandson, my friends. I wanted to give that to you. You guys have been asking, and I was going to respond in some posts and some comments, and I thought, I'll just do it during the show, because then I'll feel compelled to answer everybody. And, it's kind of like back when you were in school and they're like, if you didn't bring enough for the whole class, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to comment on everybody, and I would have been that guy. They'd be like, well, why did he respond to their comment, but didn't respond to mine? Nah, just playing. Although that does happen. That does happen. I've received messages like, hey, I saw you responded to so-and-so, but is there a reason you ignored my comment? No, I didn't ignore it. I just didn't see it. Guys, I'm getting thousands of comments a day across Facebook and YouTube. It's hard. I try. I really try. But let's get moving on. I want to give you guys, I'm all about giving my Factivists ammunition to go up against grifters. That's why I wrote the Blue Playbook Conservative, which you guys can find on Amazon. And I know some of you've got it already. It lays it out, man. It is like a play-by-play, do-it-yourself tutorial on how not to get duped by these people. And I truly recommend it, guys. I truly do. You know, I make like 50 cents off of it. So it's not like I'm just trying to sales pitch you here. This book will literally help you. But I put together a little bit of video here, and I'm going to narrate it for you guys. And I want you to check this out because this is just simple stuff that you too can put into your mind and use from here on out. So let's check this out, and then we'll be right back and really get this show going. Check this out, my friends. Why do you feel a sudden surge of rage every time you scroll past a political headline? It isn't an accident. It's a meticulously engineered psychological trap designed to bypass your logic before you even know what hit you. Today, we are exposing the hidden scripts and manufactured outrage used by digital puppeteers to control exactly what you think. Every platform you scroll knows more about your emotional triggers than your closest friend. The algorithm isn't neutral. It's a dopamine slot machine calibrated to your specific fears, your specific anger, and your specific identity. When you feel that spike of outrage raising a headline, you're not reacting. You're performing exactly as designed. You think you're forming your own opinions, but you're actually being herded like cattle by weaponized cognitive biases. The us versus them framework isn't political reality. It's a product engineered to keep you watching, clicking, sharing, and most importantly, never questioning. Political pundits are using false scarcity and emotional triggers to ensure their scripted drama moves faster than the truth. They don't need you to believe everything. They just need you to be angry to fact check. Fear is the product. They don't want you to fact check. They get you angry at what's being said. Outrage is the delivery mechanism, and your attention is the commodity being sold. The truth moves slowly, carefully. It requires patience, nuance, and intellectual humility. But manufactured outrage, it travels at the speed of a thumbnail, my friends. By the time the correction publishes, the lie has already shaped your worldview. It is time to strip away the mask. Recognize the trigger before you pull it. Ask who benefits when you are angry. Ask who profits from your division. The moment you see the puppet strings, you are no longer the puppet. Stop being manipulated. Start being dangerous. Be dangerous to the people who need you controlled. All right, my friends, you just checked out that little video I put together rather quickly today. It was something I had written down to be a post, you know, like on Facebook. And I thought, you know what, I can fit this into the show because it's honest advice. You know, it's the stuff that we're dealing with and living with every day, you know, and maybe somebody will hear what I said or watch that and think, hey, and it helps them out in the future, you know, because that is the goal. We need more factivists out there taking control of these things, controlling the narratives that are being controlled, right? Anyways, but let's get to this really disappointing, disheartening news I found this morning. And apparently this has been going on for maybe a week. Again, I'm not really active on TikTok, and I don't even, you know, mess with X anymore. So I'm not seeing a lot of this despicable stuff. And as you guys know, X is like just the purgatory of horrible people to me. It really is. Not everybody, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of just horrible stuff that's posted on X. You know, they barely do any censoring, and you know, TikTok is not much better. It really isn't. But I have learned, my friends, that there is this sick and new TikTok trend called the Austin Bop. Now, this is not helping matters at all. This is reminiscent of the stuff that started after Charlie was killed and is still going on today, of people mocking his death. Well, now they're doing it to Austin Metcalf. They've created a TikTok trend where they're dancing, literally mimicking being stabbed. Just like we've seen with Charlie tenfold, you know, people faking a gunshot to the neck and falling down. Just these disgusting displays of humanity. It's not even humanity. It's just a disgusting display. There is so much evil taken over, Factivists. This is another reason we have got to start finding more like-minded people. We really, really do. We've got to start, for lack of a better word, raising our army to fight this evil, because we're losing. We are completely losing. And we've got to do everything we can to fight with God. We are God's soldiers, my friends. Okay? But this is just disgusting to me. And I'm going to play, I downloaded one video off of TikTok. It's kind of a collage, and this guy commenting on it. His name escapes me at the moment. I've watched him quite a few times. He's a big dog lover. And there was a reel he did on dogs that just got me right here. But I can't think of this guy's name at the moment. But I want you to watch this. This is the current TikTok trend, taking the internet by storm. And this leads to the question, why is this stuff allowed? If I got on there and I posted anything remotely similar of me doing something, like let's say making fun of George Floyd, we use that as an example, right? I do some parody where I'm laying on the ground and have my wife in a cop outfit and her just stepping on my neck or whatever. Dude, it would get taken down. It would absolutely get taken down, and I would get some kind of strike, right? But it's allowed when it's a certain group doing it. And I'm sorry to have to say that, but that is the truth. This whole white privilege thing, you can shove it right, you know where you can shove it, period, right? But YouTube's the same way. Let me go on there and freaking do what Candace Owens does, and my channel will be shut down. Absolutely be shut down. I saw somebody, I don't know if it was in our chat during a live or if it was a random comment I saw. I can't remember. But somebody had said, you know, I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel and literally recreating Candace's episodes verbatim, all of the dialogue, all of the script that she's written, and literally do the same exact show and see how long it takes for YouTube to block me. And I thought, that's a really good point. It really is. And it actually had me considering it, like taking one of her, just to prove a point, taking one of her episodes, downloading the transcript, and literally recreating her show exactly, and see what happens. The only reason I haven't done it is that I don't want to lose this channel. You know, I just don't want to put this channel at risk, right? But it would be an interesting experiment. It really would. It really would. Because I've dealt with it simply sharing videos. Like I have shared my first strike on here for inappropriate content came from a video I found. All over YouTube, all over Facebook, all over TikTok, every social media, right? All over the place. And I downloaded it to do commentary on it. And what the video was it was a surveillance camera in a bus, okay? And it showed a little kid sitting in that first chair and a big woman sitting beside him, literally the entire video beating the crap out of him. And nobody's doing anything. Slamming his head against the window. This was a grown woman. Okay? And it made the news and all of these other social media pages. But I downloaded to give commentary on it for one of my shows, one of my episodes. instantly flagged. And this was back in, I don't know, I want to say December, because they kept that strike on my account until May. So yeah, I mean, I was like, had that strike for like 6 months, 5 or 6 months, something like that. And the same exact video, they striked me on Facebook. In fact, I still have the warning in my, on my dashboard in Facebook, but this video's everywhere. Go figure. So you can't tell me they don't favor certain groups of people, because they really do. If you're on the left, you good. You good. On any social media platform, you can post the most disgusting, hateful things in the world, and they won't do a thing to you. If you're on the right and literally post the exact same thing, they will do something to you. And we have got to work at getting that stopped. It's got to be one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is the rule, then that rule has to be for everybody, not for certain people. But watch this video. Like I said, just pulled it off TikTok. It's not my video. It's just a compilation of these kids doing this Austin Metcalf trend. And it is just absolutely sickening. Check this out, my friends.
The Austin bop. What is going on with black kids? They've invented a dance that mocks the killing of Austin Metcalf. How can I sit quietly and watch this and not address it and not cry out?
I have a really hard time watching these videos and not thinking we truly are better than them. I just can't imagine ever doing something like that, even as a child. What's the solution? Because this is bad.
All right, my friends, you just check that out. It's absolutely disgusting to me. It's like, where are the parents? Do the parents not pay any attention to what their kids do? Are they not following their social media to see this and say, hey, this is wrong? Or are they seeing it and thinking, okay, whatever, and they're just as bad? You know, these are questions, man, that I'm telling you, this up and coming generation is just scary. They are so desensitized, man. So desensitized. But let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a surveillance video I pulled from a gas station from back home. That's right, from my hometown. And it shows this dirt bike gang, the Lost Boys, whatever you want to call them, just randomly attack some guy at a gas station and then jump on their dirt bikes and take off. And then we're going to start getting into the Candace stuff for this episode. So guys, check this out, and we will be right back.
Watching the puddles gather rain. This channel is a mix of facts, parody, satire, and personal opinion. If you ever need clarification on any of the material, please don't hesitate to ask.
All right, my friends, and we are back. And as I alluded to, there were some shenanigans in my hometown yesterday. This is how new this was. The only reason I know about it is because my niece Lyrica had posted this, and I was like, oh my God, I recognize that place. I've been to that gas station, But what you guys are seeing in this video is these dirt bike kids have come in there. They're popping wheelies. You guys are seeing that on the screen. I mean, it's dangerous. They're at a gas station, let alone if, one wrong turn and they're out into the middle of the highway, or if they got hurt on the gas station's property. You know what I'm saying? It's the gas station's liable. But this man comes out. He comes out to tell them, hey, you can't be riding like that in my parking lot and doing wheelies, and they beat the crap out of him. Look at that. That's unreal. And then they run out there and they get on their bikes and just take off. There's a dude on a four-wheeler. And they're going down the highway on those things. Look, he just whipped out in front of a vehicle. These kids are a menace, man. They're going to get themselves killed is what's going to happen. That's awful. I mean, I know you guys don't care about it because, hey, it's your hometown, but I just thought it was a, we have conversations a lot about the desensitizing of this younger generation. And this is just a perfect example of that. It really is. We see it. They do not care. Violence is the answer to everything for this younger generation now. And that is just scary, my friends. It really is. But let's jump into this Candace stuff. Of course, she had an episode last night and an episode. I got to do that joke twice. Anyway, so we've got 8 lies, I think. Maybe it was 6. Let me look at my notes. It was 6 documented lies that I found. 5 directly from the episode, and we're going to jump into those. But the first lie, the number 1 lie, is something that she's just been saying forever. And I came across a recent poll by Overton Insights. This poll was taken in May. And it's interesting because this poll is exactly how reality is, how critical thinkers are. This poll reveals what we've been saying, what you factivists have been saying. And I'm considering this lie number 1. And the reason is because when Candace talks about herself, the whole world loves Candace, and we all know, and we're the majority. She loves to use that phrase, we are the majority here. The majority of us think like this. The majority of us think Tyler Robinson is innocent. The majority. Well, she is the furthest thing from the majority when you measure her to reality. And Overton Insights did just that in May. What you are seeing on the screen is a survey they did where 17% of the people who took the survey were favorable of Candace. Only 17% of the people who took the survey were favorable of Candace. 40% were unfavorable of Candace. The other 43% had never heard of her. So 83% total was either unfavorable of Candace or didn't even know who she was, while only 17% of the people who took this survey found her favorable. That's pathetic. That is not the majority. Not when 40% find her unfavorable and the other 43% doesn't even know who she is. That is the furthest cry from majority. But this goes on. And this, guys, you're going to love. You're going to love it. They did the same kind of polling for potential political candidates, right? Presidential candidates, stuff like that. And I blurred out all the irrelevant stuff. But this line is what I want to show you guys. Interestingly, despite all being part of the conservative movement at one point, only Erica Kirk at a plus 41% is viewed favorably among Republicans. 41% she is favored among Republicans, while Ben Shapiro sits at a negative 4% and Candace Owens is a negative 7%. And this survey says Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens are underwater. So when people considering these individuals for any form of office in politics, 41% are in favor of Erica Kirk, where a negative 4% for Ben Shapiro and a negative 7% for Candace Owens. Again, that is the furthest thing from the majority, my factivists. She is just so, it's denial isn't even the word for it. Delusion is better. Mass delusion, especially when you consider her, a fire truck was going down the road, guys. This is Jacksonville, North Carolina. That's the sounds of Jacksonville all day long. Fire trucks, ambulances, and wrecks. It's awful. But I thought you guys would get a kick out of that polling where she was only 17% favorable.
You are watching Facts Me TV. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.
But all right, my friends, let's get back to these lies from her episode last night, her Wednesday night show. We just did number one, which, again, was us just calling out her BS of being the majority, right? No. So let's get this thing going to lie number two.
That Charlie's Road mic was rigged to explode. They said, look, there's white on some of these pieces, Candace. Well, then we had someone send us an email and they started putting the pieces together. One crucial piece. They wrote, Dear Candace and team, I'm watching your show from earlier today. I'm in France.
So lie number two, a USB icon on glass does not prove a bomb. Candace, she is still on this exploding microphone, and now she's just reading random people's emails as gospel. Zero forensic evidence exists of any explosive device. Spotting a USB logo on a broken glass shard via a screenshot proves nothing about the cause of death.
Which, as we explore our rigged microphone theory, is an admission that Brian Harpole would be the person responsible for removing the biggest piece of explosive residue evidence, Charlie's shirt. He is attempting.
So she's back on the whole T-shirt thing. There's some confusion about this. Brian Harpole said he cut the shirt away so they could work on him at the hospital. Nowhere did Brian Harpole say he cut the shirt and then lifted up Charlie's body and slid up the T-shirt and took it. Nowhere did he say that. All he has confirmed is that when they got there, he cut up the shirt to make room for the defibrillator. So the medical professionals could do what they could do, but removing clothing is standard ER trauma care. Emergency responders always cut away clothing, and in this case, it was Brian Harpole who cut it. Didn't remove it, but cut it. This is a basic trauma protocol, not evidence tampering or destruction.
The history of that does go back to Project Monarch. This was intentional. Our government did a lot of experiments with that. The CIA and trained people to intentionally disassociate people that are serial killers, that are used as weapons, and they want to make sure that they...
Here's the reality, kids. MK Ultra ended in 1973. Erica Kirk is not CIA programmed. Really? MK Ultra was shut down over 50 years ago. There is no evidence whatsoever that Erica Kirk was programmed by the CIA or has a government-assigned handler.
Start when you are an adult. Day Zero Ghost has a deal that's even bigger than Brigitte Macron's hands. My viewers will receive a full $50 off their phone. So do not walk, run to zeroghost.com.
Now, I don't know if you want to count that as a lie, but her using Brigitte Macron in her ad, in an ad that she's being paid for, Brigitte Macron is a woman. She has filed a defamation lawsuit over this exact kind of claim, Candace. Owens has repeated this falsehood across multiple episodes forever. Dude, okay, it is a lie.
Aware, I got banned from Australia because the Zionist lobby of Australia band together and said that I was a danger. Weird that you're still allowed to listen to my podcast. Is it somehow not dangerous? Is it only in person? Am I going to harm someone? Funny thing is I was doing my tour about.
So number 6, which I find hilarious. And why do I find number 6 hilarious, Factivist? Let me read it first. No Zionist lobby banned Owens from Australia. She's trying to paint it that way, but that's not the case. Australia denied Owens a visa citing character concerns because she is an evil, lying wench. And her public statements. No evidence of any organized lobby involvement has been presented, nor will it ever be presented other than from Candace Owens. But the reason I find this funny, and I don't know if you Factivists saw it or not, but I'm going to show it to you immediately after making this comment. When was the last time she has talked about her being banned from Australia? Right? This isn't like a common thing that she's always talking about. But yesterday, I posted a video about her getting banned from Australia and keeping the money from all of the people who bought tickets to see her. Over $1 million was never refunded to these people. I bring this Australia thing back up in a video yesterday, and now all of a sudden, she's mentioning Australia again and her ban from Australia. That right there tells me she is fully tuned into Fax Me. Or that is just one major coincidence. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comments. Here's the video I posted yesterday.
Candace Owens, conservative commentator, self-proclaimed truth teller. But the truth about what happened in Australia tells a very different story. In 2024, Owens announced a speaking tour of Australia's biggest cities, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. Tickets went on sale. 15,000 of them. But there was one problem. She didn't actually have a visa yet. On October 25th, 2024, Australia's Home Affairs Minister refused her visa under the Migration Act's character test. The reason? Her history of anti-Semitic rhetoric, Islamophobic remarks, and the government's finding that she had the capacity to, quote, incite discord in the Australian community. Owens took it to court. She lost. In October 2025, Australia's High Court, all 7 justices, unanimously upheld the ban. She was ordered to pay legal costs. Candace Owens now sits in the same company as Ye, formerly Kanye West, who was also banned from Australia for promoting Nazi ideology. But here's where it turns into something darker. Those 15,000 tickets, priced from 95 Australian dollars for general admission all the way up to $1,500 for private VIP dinners, represented a minimum of $1.4 million in gross ticket sales. Collected, in hand. The promoter, a company called Roxman, eventually entered liquidation. When investigators arrived, they found the bank account contained just 21 cents. Not $21, 21 cents. Meanwhile, Roxman owed over $760,000 to creditors and had absolutely no insurance to cover the cancellation. All 15,000 ticket holders had been promised refunds. Not one received their money back. The liquidator's report flagged $385,000 in potentially unreasonable director-related transactions. The corporate regulator was notified of Corporations Act violations. The money is simply gone. Owens' camp claims she's a victim too, that she personally paid hundreds of thousands in legal fees after Roxman promised to cover them, and even provided loans to the promoter to facilitate refunds that never came. But while Candace performs victimhood, 15,000 Australians who paid between $100 and $1,500 are permanently out of pocket. No legal path, no recovery, nothing.
Australia didn't just ban Candace Owens. They fact-checked her at the highest level of the law,
And the verdict was unanimous. This is Facts Me.
All right, my friends, you just checked out that video I posted on her getting banned from Australia and keeping the money. And yesterday, during her show, she brings it up. What are the chances? But another thing that keeps getting brought up is this 30-06. We cannot beat it into the heads of the naysayers enough about the reality and ballistics and the reality of different types of ballistics. So I have put together yet another video that shows you the myth versus physics. The 30-06 debate settled. If you don't understand after watching this video, you are never going to understand, and you're just going to follow lies, okay? Because this is reality. I've done 30-06 videos in the past to help put the truth out there, but unfortunately, people like Candace, people like Baron Coleman, they keep pushing this narrative to morons. Guys, check this out. This is the reality. Myth versus physics, the 30-06 debate settled.
Whether a projectile exits the body depends on multiple ballistic variables: bullet construction, velocity of impact, distance, angle, tissue resistance, and energy transfer. Soft point and traditional hunting rounds are engineered to expand like a mushroom on impact. Ballistic tip and polymer tip rounds are designed to rapidly expand and dump energy internally into the target. A hunting 30-06 round is not designed for clean overpenetration. It is designed for ethical energy transfer into the target. When a bullet expands, several things happen. The frontal surface area increases dramatically. Velocity drops quickly. Energy transfers internally rather than carrying through the target, so the likelihood of an exit wound decreases significantly. Now factor in the actual distance this shot was taken from, 426 feet. At longer range, velocity decreases. Reduced velocity means reduced penetration potential. That is just basic physics, not speculation. So the idea that a 30-06 must exit under every condition is absolutely false. This so-called narrative is not rooted in ballistic reality. It's rooted in online engagement.
All right, my friends, you just checked out a short 90-minute or 90-second little video I put together, just straight into the point of what the reality is around 30-06 bullets and their impact, right? So hopefully that'll help some people. This, of course, will be posted as its own standalone video so people can share it and use it. But next up, something I haven't done in a while is just fact check her social media posts. And I took some time this morning to put together a video. It's about 5 minutes long that shows her post, her social media post across various social media platforms, shows that they are a lie, and then the actual fact check. And I've got this narrated for you the whole 9 yards. So I want you guys to check out this video. These are what I feel are the top 10 lies that Candace Owens has spewed on social media outside of her show. Check this out.
Number 10. In April 2020, Candace Owens posted, India has over 1 billion people and barely any COVID cases. I wonder why the media isn't talking about this. She implied COVID was a media hoax. Fact check. By May 2021, India was recording over 400,000 new COVID cases per day, one of the worst outbreaks in world history. Number 9. Candace Owens tweeted that the CDC was proposing to move high-risk Americans into camps. She called it, quote, terrifying. Fact check. The CDC document discussed protecting vulnerable people in overseas refugee settings, not America. No camps for Americans were ever proposed. Number 8. She posted that Southwest Airlines workers were staging a sick-out to protest COVID vaccine mandates, costing thousands of passengers their flights. Fact check. Southwest Airlines, the FAA, and the Pilots Union all denied any protest. The cancellations were caused by air traffic control issues and severe weather. Number 7. Candace Owens posted, SADS, Sudden Arrhythmic Death Syndrome, is a mysterious new condition. Connect the dots, people, implying the vaccines were responsible. Fact check. SADS has been studied by cardiologists for over 50 years. It is caused by inherited genetic heart defects, not vaccines. Number 6. She claimed, hospitals get paid more to label deaths as COVID. The numbers are completely fabricated. Fact check. She sued the fact-checkers who called her out. A Delaware judge dismissed her lawsuit, ruling the falsehoods were in her posts, not in the fact-checkers' reporting. Number 5. After the 2022 midterms, she promoted the claim that printer malfunctions in Maricopa County were a deliberate attempt to steal the election. Fact check. Voters whose ballots couldn't be processed had multiple alternate options to cast their votes. Every legal challenge to the Maricopa results was dismissed in court. Number 4. Candace Owens repeatedly posted that French First Lady Brigitte Macron was, quote, born a man. She made this claim dozens of times across social media. Fact check. This is completely and demonstrably false. In 2025, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron filed a defamation lawsuit against her in Delaware Superior Court. Number 3. In her documentary, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, Owens pushed the false narrative that George Floyd's death was caused by fentanyl, not Officer Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck. Fact check. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner ruled Floyd's death a homicide caused by neck and back compression. Derek Chauvin was convicted of murder. Number 2. In March 2020, as COVID began spreading, Candace Owens posted, the flu is more dangerous than coronavirus to Americans. Fact check. COVID-19 went on to kill over 1 million Americans, nearly 20 times the typical annual flu death toll. Number 1. Candace Owens spent years posting that COVID death statistics were manipulated, that flu deaths were being deliberately relabeled as COVID to justify lockdowns and control the public. Fact check. She actually sued USA Today and Lead Stories for fact-checking her. A Delaware court dismissed the lawsuit and ruled, on the record, that the falsehoods were in her posts. She lost. In federal court.
right, my friends, you just checked that out. It's been another great show. We got one more show to wrap this week up. That will be tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, time permitting and customer permitting. You guys know the situation. I was literally struggling to get this one. I thought I was going to have to cancel today too, because it's just been very, very busy here at the store. But I'm going to leave you guys with what I always leave you with, and that is keep the truth on your tongue and God in your heart. Big thank you to the mods for hanging out and doing what they do today in the chat. Big thank you to all of my factivists. Welcome to all the new subscribers. You're really going to love it here. We put the truth out there. We're fighting the good fight against the grifters, the liars, the misinformation. We're trying to bring God back and make it cool again, right? It's always been cool, man. Just sometimes we go off on the wrong path, myself included. But welcoming Jesus Christ into your heart is the best move you can ever make. Guys, I'm going to leave you out with a new parody. Check this out, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow on another Fax Me Live at 4 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. Take care, my friends.
I can lie if I want to, I can leave my friends behind. Your friends don't lie, and if they don't try, well, there is no truth to mine. Say I attack who I want to, fake and gay actually. I act like a demon from out of this hell, leave fact check far from me. And I can lie, everything is out of spite. I can lie, I can try to be like Erica Wright. I can lie, I can try, convince you Charlie was mine. I can lie, I can try, everybody's taking the chance. The Candace dance, the Candace dance, the Candace dance, the Candace dance, the Candace dance. Yeah, Candace is a dunce, and that's more than once, yeah. I can lie if I want to, I can leave my friends behind. Your friends don't lie, and if they don't try, well, there is no truth to mine. Say I attack who I want to, fake and gay actually. I act like a demon from out of this hell, leave fact check far from me. And I can lie, everything is out of spite. I can lie, I can try to be like Erica Wright. I can lie, I can try, convince you Charlie was mine. I can lie, I can try, everybody's taking the chance. The Candace dance, the Candace dance, the Candace dance, the Candace dance, the Candace dance.